Hey, Team Impact, how you doing today? Hopefully okay. We're moving on to handout 5. A lot of vocabulary today, a lot. So get ready, buckle down. That's why I'm going to have you show this video because it's really just a lot of verbatim stuff. But let's get into this thing. Here we go. Faces of a three-dimensional figure. Let me see if that will help there. Yeah. Are any of the surfaces, including the bases. A lateral face does not include the base. Okay, so what is a base? The base of a three-dimensional figure names the shape. Okay, so and you'll see how we get into this with our pyramids, our prisms. So if it's a triangular base, it would be a triangular a pyramid. If it's a square base, it's a square pyramid, right? This is a rectangular prism. This is a cube because it's a square. So we have to understand that a prism has two bases which are parallel to each other and do not touch. So if we look at this, it has two bases. Here's a base, here's a base. They don't touch. Here's a base, or here's a, however you want to flip it. The vertex is the corner of a three-dimensional object. And I'm going to label all this stuff here for you in a minute, but these are all vertexes, and the plural of vertex is vertice. And the edge is the line, excuse me, segment, frog or something in my throat, that joins the faces. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of go down through here and draw some lines and label it. Highly recommend you do this. Let's start on our prism. And the first thing is this right here is called a face. All right, so let's identify all of this stuff up here. All right, this line going across here or here or here or any of those lines is called an edge. An edge. Okay, now, excuse me, these points right here are called the vertex. And again, the plural is vertice, but we're just going to call that as vertex. And then finally, what it's sitting on is this bases. This is a base and this is a base. So to show you that, I'm just going to draw it right to here. It's called a base. Okay, called a base. Let's do the same thing with the cube. All right. Again, here's a face. Okay. Here's a vertex. Here's a edge. Right. And then the last one we're missing is the base. And again, there's two bases and they don't touch. There's a base and there's a base. So that should make a little bit better sense. So how are the cubes and the rectangular prisms the same? Both a rectangular prism and a cube have 8 vertices, 12 edges, and 6 faces. So they have 8 vertices, and let's abbreviate that. 12 edges, if we counted it. All these line segments are edges, there'd be 12 of them. And all of these points would be vertices, okay? And then, excuse me, they have 6 faces. 6 faces. So these are our faces right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What it's sitting on and the opposite of it is called the base. A cube is a specific type of rectangular prism. What makes a cube unique? Well, a cube is unique because all the sides are equal. They're all equal, right? And that's what makes a cube, right? So if you found the area of one, you could just, the surface area, then you could just multiply it by 6 and so on, okay? All right, let's keep rolling on. Prisms. A prism is a solid figure with 2 parallel bases that are separated by the height of the figure. The bases are congruent. Congruent. Congruent means equal. Fancy name for equal. Okay, so again, they're separated by the height of the figure and the bases are congruent. So again, here's a base down here it's sitting on, here's a base. These two are congruent. Here's a base, here's a base. They're congruent. If you flip this vertically, this would become the base and that would be a base. it would be congruent. Same thing. So it's just how it's lying there, essentially. Pyramids. All right. So we're going to get into some pyramids. We're going to Egypt. All right. A pyramid is a solid figure with one base and triangular faces. Right? Triangular faces. So a pyramid could have a square base and then have four triangles. It could have a triangular base and have three sides or faces, three triangles. So it's just what it's sitting on. The height of the pyramid forms a right angle with the base. Pyramids are named by their base, and we just talked about that, and you'll see in a minute, all right, how we're going to get into that, okay? Okay, so let's flip the page, and let's get into this thing. Here we go. Okay, so we're just going to identify it here and kind of get into it here. So what do we have first here, okay? This is a cube. The total number of faces is 6 squares, right? All right. So it says bases. All right. It says complete the following, identify, and then use colored pencils. Well, we're not going to use it, but the bases is here and here, and there's 2 of them, and they're squares. And the vertices. All right. How many vertices do we have? Well, we have 8, and let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are our vertices. So there's 8 vertices, sorry. How many edges do we have? Not 8, but we have 12, and let's count those, right? Edges or line segments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so those are all of our edges. Let's go again. This one's going to be a rectangular prism. How many rectangles do you see? Okay, well, in this one, I see 6. 1, 2, 3, on the back's 4, 5, and 6. 6 rectangles. All right, what are the bases? Well, the bases is what it's sitting on there and there. There are 2 rectangles. All right, and you're going to see something common here with the next 2 answers because they have the same number of vertices, the same number of pivot points or connectors. There's 8 vertices, and there's also 12 edges. And I'll put an E up there too. So if we count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There it is. All right, let's move on. All right, this is not a pyramid, okay, but what this is a rectangular prism because it has a rectangular base. So it's a rectangular prism. Okay. I apologize. It's not a rectangular prism. It's a triangular prism. The bases are there. It's Wednesday. It's a tough day here. Apologize here. All right. So as I look at this, all right, so total number of faces. Well, let's take a look at this. What are our faces here? So to me, we have total of 5, total of 5 faces, right? And here's 1, 2. We have 2 triangles, and we have what? 1, 2, 3 rectangles. And let's do it this way, maybe. Okay. What are our bases here? Well, our bases here is, and remember, there has to be 2 of them. So they are triangles. There's 2 of them. Right here and right here. Those are our bases. How many vertices? Well, if we count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 vertices. How many edges? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 edges. Okay. Apologize about labeling that. Let's move on. The next one up is our first pyramid. Okay, and this is a rectangular pyramid because the base is a rectangle. So it's a rectangular pyramid. MID, rectangular, because the base is a rectangle. Now, how many faces does it have? Well, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 faces. Excuse me. Okay, it has 5 faces. And 4 are triangles and 1 is a rectangle. How many bases does this have? Well, it just has one. A pyramid just has one base right there. It's one rectangle. And again, you could went like that. That's fine. How many vertices do you count? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I counted the edges. I'm sorry, 8. There's 8 edges. I'm confused here this morning. And how many vertices? Well, we can count that. We can get 5 vertices, right? All right, let's move on. Last one here is a triangular prism. Okay, so we have a triangular base, and we have 3 triangles making it. Okay, so it's a triangular pyramid. I'm having all kind of problems here this morning. Pyramid. Okay, so what's the total number of faces? 4, and they're all triangles, right? All of them are triangles. Our base is one triangle. It's one triangle. There it is. It's sitting on it, right? How many vertices are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 vertices. How many edges? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 edges. So we've defined a lot of stuff there, and I had to make a couple corrections there. All right, but we're going to continue to move on. Let's go. What do you notice about the difference between the pyramids and the prisms, right? Okay. Well, the prisms have a rectangular faces and 2 bases. A pyramid has a triangular face and 1 base. So a pyramid, and let's just write this, pyramid has 1 base and, okay, and a pyramid has 1 base and triangular faces. Okay. Where a prism, well, a prism, and I'll let you get caught up, has rectangular faces and 2 bases. Well, it has rectangular faces and 2 bases. Okay. Jonas says that a triangular prism is unique because it has 2 triangular faces. Do you agree with her or do you disagree? A triangular faces. A triangular prism has triangular faces. I'm going to disagree. Yeah, I disagree, right? Disagree. And I'll tell you why. I disagree because a triangular prism is unique because it has 2 triangular bases that do not intersect. All right, so a triangular prism, if you think of a triangular prism, here it is, and I'll draw one kind of like right here. Right, and there's a line there, and we put this there. Here's our 2 bases right here. Right, so it's unique because it has 2 triangular bases that do not intersect. Intersect means touch. There's one and there's one. All right, 2 triangular bases that do not intersect. Okay, a lot of vocab today. Wow. So anyway, what I want you to do is go ahead and flip the page and go through this intro to 3D figures. So we're just kind of starting over after our quiz. I hope you did well in your quiz. Hopefully we get that back to you tomorrow. Have a great day, guys. See you.